Okay, we'll get started. Question number one. Uh, Bus is traveling at a constant speed along a straight portion of the road. The equation d equals 30t gives the distance d in feet from a road marker that the bus will be t seconds after passing the marker. How many feet from the marker will the bus be 2 seconds after passing the marker? Very simple and easy problem here. So all you got to do is put t equals 2 into this formula here. So d is 30 times 2, which is 60. So the correct answer choice here is C as in cat. For a particular machine that produces beats, 29 out of every 100 beats it produces have a defect. A beat produced by the machine will be selected at random. What is the probability of selecting a beat that has a defect? Well, it says 29 out of every 100 beats. So the correct answer choice here is C as in cat. What is the y-intercept of the graph shown? We're looking for when x is equal to 0. So A, B are automatically gone. And if I see here, y is equal to 8. So the correct answer choice here is D as in David. Which expression is equivalent to this? All you got to do is add the x squares together, add the x's together, and add the minus 1 to 1 together. So you'll get 3x squared plus 7x minus 8. So D as in David is the correct answer. An analyst collected data on the price of a carton of grape tomatoes at 30 locations selected at random in Utah. The mean price of a carton of grape tomatoes in Utah was estimated to be $4.23 with an associated margin of error of $0.08. Which of the following is a plausible statement about the mean price of a carton of grape tomatoes for all locations that sell this product in Utah? So what margin of error means is um, for some value of mean here, it has to be 4.23 minus 0.08, and it should be also between 4.23 plus 0.08. So I'll write it again here, 4.23 minus 0.08, 4.23 plus 0.08. Sorry for the messy handwriting above here. So I can say that answer choice A, it is between 4.15 and $4.31 is correct. You need to look for this relationship here. Okay. All right. For 6, what is the value of x? What value of x is the solution to the given equation? Obviously just subtract minus 2.6 here and also minus 2.6 here. So 2.8 minus 2.6 is equal to 0.2. So 0.2 is the correct answer. Out of 300 seeds that were planted, 80% sprouted. How many of these sprouted? So 80%, I like to divide this by 100 and multiply it by 300. So the correct answer here is 240. Okay, question 8. For the linear function f, b is a constant and f of 7 is 20. What is the value of b? Um, I'm going to put 7 here into my function, so it becomes 4 times 7 plus b is 28. B is obviously going to be 0, so A is correct here. Okay, moving on to question 9. uh, right triangles LMN and PQR are similar, where L and M correspond to P and Q respectively. Angle M has a measure of 53 degrees. What is the measure of angle Q? Since here it's a geometry problem, I like to draw things out here. And we have L and M and PQR. And M has 53 degrees. And since these are triangle, this also has to be 53. So the correct answer choice here is B as in boy. What is the equation of the line that passes through the point 0, 5 and is parallel to the graph of y equals 7x plus 4? Parallel means that these two lines need to have the same slope. So we'll go ahead and write this down here. This is how I like to write down the line equation. So we know that the slope is 7 and 5. So y is equal to 7x plus 5. So the correct answer choice here is B as in boy. Question 11, which of the following equation is the most appropriate linear model for the data shown in the scatter plot? Since this is decreasing, C and D are automatically wrong. And if I look at somewhere around 0, it should be somewhere like 10, right? So I could eliminate A because um, when x is 0, it's somewhere near 10, not minus 10. So 11 is B. B is correct. Okay. The model predicts that the population of Bergen was 15,000 in 2005. The model also predicts that each year for the next 5 years, the population P increased by 4% of the previous year's population. Which equation best represents this model? Where x is the number of years after 2005, where x is less than or equal to 5. The canonical formula for exponential function is this. Since it's increasing, we need to add. So we have to add 4 over 100 to 1. And the initial value is 15,000 here. So the correct answer choice for 12 is D as in David. Okay. Question 13. What is the solution to the given system of equation is the solution to the given system of equation is A comma B. What is the value of B? Get rid of the A's immediately. So 4B is equal to 100. This is the subtract sign here, and B is equal to 25. The expression 90y to the power 5 minus 54y to the power 4 is equivalent to ry to the power 4, parenthesis 15y minus 9, parenthesis close, where r is a constant. What is the value of r? I can see that y, if 4 can be pulled into the front like this. And since uh, I see a 15 and a 9, so if I divide this by 6 and this by 6, I need to pull the 6 in front here. So 6 y to the power 4 is 15y minus 9. And we're looking for this r, right? So 6 is the correct answer here. Okay. Question 15, the graph of y is equal to fx as shown, where the function f is defined by f of x is equal to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, and abc and d are constants. For how many values of x does f of x 0? Very easy. We want to see where y is equal to 0. So you have 1, 2, and 3. So 3, 15, C is the correct answer choice. Okay, the area A in square centimeters of a rectangle cutting board can be represented by the expression W times parenthesis open W plus 9 parenthesis close, where W is the width in centimeters of the cutting board. Which of the expression represents the length in centimeters of the cutting board? So width times L is area, and the L here is the W plus 9. So D as in David is the correct answer choice. Okay, question 17. The given equation relates to distinct positive numbers p, k, and j, which equation correctly expresses 4j plus 9 in terms of p and k. All I gotta do is bring this guy here, bring this guy here. So k over p is equal to 4j plus 9. So A as an apple is correct. Okay. Circle A has a radius of 3n and circle B has a radius of 129n, where n is a positive constant. The area of circle B is how many times the area of circle A? So we know that the radius of circle A is 3n. B is 129n. So pi r squared is the area for A. For B is pi r. Okay, there we go. And then this 3n, we're gonna put it here so it becomes pi 9 n squared. And this is pi 16. I'm sorry, 16,641 and then n squared. And all you gotta do is divide this by 9, divide the radiuses, and then this becomes 1849. So the correct answer choice here is D as in David. Okay. Question 19, the measure of angle R is 2 pi over 3 radians. The measure of angle T is 5 pi 12 radians greater than the measure of angle R. What is the measure of angle T in degrees? So we have R is 2 pi over 3 and T is since it's greater, I need to add an R here. I'm going to go ahead and add these up. There's 4 here. This becomes 13 pi divided by 12. And we know that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. So for here, I need to multiply this by 180 divided by pi. Because this is in radians, this is radians and this is degree. The radians and radians cancel out. And you get 195 degrees. So the correct answer choice here is C as in cat. Question 20. The given equation relates to variables x and y. For what x does the value of y reach its minimum? There are 2 ways you can do this. You can use your graphing calculator and plot this function. It would be like something like this. And using your graphing calculator, you can actually figure out that when x is equal to 7, the value of y can reach its minimum. For those of you who have or concurrently taking AP Calculus, what you can do here, this is actually very straightforward, is do dy dx is equal to 2x minus 14, and set that equal to 0, and x is equal to 7. I like to use the calculus method here because all you got to do is take the derivative with respect to x, set it equal to 0, and find out where x is when the y is equal to 0. Question 21. Small business owner budget $2,200 to purchase candles. The owner must purchase a minimum of 200 candles to maintain the discounted pricing. If the owner pays 4.9 dollars per candle to purchase small candles and $11.6 per candle to purchase large candles, what is the maximum number of large candles the owner can purchase to stay within the budget and maintain the discounted pricing? Okay, this although it's a very wordy problem, um, it's actually a solving system of linear equations. So we know that the total number of small and large candles needs to be 200. And it says $4.9 per candle to purchase small. So it's 4.9 S plus 11.6 L. And this is equal to 2,200. If you solve this using system of linear equations, you'll get S is equal to 18, L is equal to 182. It's asking for the large candles, so 182 is the correct answer. Okay, question 22. Which point xy is the solution to the given system of inequalities in the xy plane? We'll go ahead and solve this. So I'm going to put this over here. I can write this as I'm going to move all my x's to the right and move the 7 to the left. X is greater or equal to minus 8 over 3, which is a minus 2.67. So immediately A is wrong. We're going to go ahead and plug in for B, C, and D. So for B, if I put X is 0, Y is less than or equal to 7, but negative 14 is less than or equal to 7. But if I put the 0 here, minus 14, this is wrong. So B is eliminated. C, so 14 is less than or equal. Nope, that's not true. So the correct answer choice here is D as in David. Because if I put 14, so y is less than or equal to 14 plus 7, which is 21. 0 is less than or equal to 21. That's correct. And for this one here, 0 is greater or equal to minus 29. So yes, D is correct answer here. Okay, question 23. The frequency table summarizes a data set of weights rounded to the nearest pound of 71 tortoises. A weight of 39 pounds is added to the original data set, creating a new data set of weights rounded to the nearest pound of 72 tortoises. Which statement best compares the mean and the median of the new data set to the mean and median of the original data set? Since 39 is greater than all of the values here, my median will not change. So the median is equal. So immediately A is wrong because A says the new data set is greater than the median of the original set. Um, the median, yeah, no, that's also wrong. Now we have an option between B and D. Since since we added a large value to the end, this will definitely affect the mean value. So obviously the mean value of the new data set is going to be greater. Uh, answer choice B has a correct statement. No, the option choice D would be correct if, let's say, I added a 5 instead of 39 to the original data set, because 5 is way smaller than all of these weights. So D is also wrong. Okay, question 24. Which of the following are solutions to the given equation where A is a constant and A is greater than 30? We'll go ahead and solve for this. So we have three options here. If I put A, oh, sorry. First of all, we can cancel out the x minus 29s here, both sides. So 1 equals x minus A. But if I put A instead of my x, this is not true. So number one is automatically eliminated. Well, the trick here is, since all of the ones, all of the answer choices have the one, so obviously we can say that C is the correct answer, but I'll explain why 2 and 3 are also correct. If I put um, A plus 1 here instead of X, this makes sense, right? 1 equals 1. So 2 is correct. Okay. For the third option, if I put 29 here, so it becomes 29 minus 29 is equal to 29 minus A, 29 is 29. This becomes 0, and whatever this is times 0 is always going to be 0. So the third option is also correct. Okay, 25. In the xy plane, the graph of the equation y equals minus x squared plus 9x minus 100 intersects the line y equals c at exactly 1 point. What is the value of c? So intersect at exactly 1 point means, like, basically there's only a one solution. So remember that b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. We had two real solutions. If this is equal to 0, we only have one. No real solution, so we need to be using this. So I'm going to set these two equal to each other. Minus x squared plus 9x minus 100 is equal to c. And I'm going to rearrange this all together. And then minus 9 squared plus 4 times a is 1, c. So if I work this out, comes this. And I want to determine what c is and divide this by for both sides. And we get C as our correct answer. Okay, the function f and g are defined by the given equations where x is greater than or equal to zero. Which of the following equation displays as a constant or a coefficient the maximum value of the function where x is greater or equal to zero? Since this one is an increasing exponential function like this, we cannot determine the maximum. Sorry, we cannot like represent the maximum as a constant or coefficient. So this one is automatically wrong. So A and C are wrong. For number two, this is a decreasing exponential function like this. So we can tell that 9 is the maximum value here, because if I put x is equal to 0, it becomes 9 here. So only 2. So B as in boy is correct for 26. And for question 27, the perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 852 centimeters. The three vertices of the triangle lie on a circle. The radius of the circle is W root 3 centimeters. What is the value of W? Since this is a geometry problem, I always like to draw things out. Since x, so 3, if I add these up, it becomes 3x is equal to 852. X is equal to we're gonna x is equal to 284. And since we are looking for the radius of the circle, what we need to do is we need to draw something like this out here. So R, and because the 360 degrees is cut into three parts, it's 120 degrees here, 120 degrees here, 120 degrees here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this one more time here. So I'm going to cut this here, and then I'm going to take this portion out. Since I'm cutting the 120 to 2, it's going to be 60 degrees here. This is going to be x over 2. So 284 divided by 2 is equal to 142. And since this is a 90, we know that this is a 30. And this is R, which is represented as W root 3. I'll draw it out here once again. So W 3, 60, 30, and 90. 142. And we want to determine the radius. So, I'm sorry, the W here. Since we know the opposite and the hypotenuse, I can write down as sine 60 is equal to 142 over W square root 3. We know that sine 60 is square root 3 over 2 is equal to 142. 3. I'll move this over here. So if I multiply the W square root 3 both sides, this goes away, this goes away. It becomes 3 over 2 W, which is equal to 142. W is simply going to be 284 divided by 3. So the correct answer here is 284 divided by 3. Okay. Moving on to module 2. What is the y-intercept of the line graph? So y-intercept means when x equals 0. So A is wrong. It's going to be 5 here, obviously. So C is correct. For a certain region, the table shows the average number of store employees in 2016 by type store. Based on the table, how much greater was the average number of store employees in warehouse stores than in supermarkets? All you gotta do is, since we're looking for the difference, since it says how much greater. So if we look at the warehouse and supermarkets, it's 365 minus 130, which is 235. So C is correct. Okay, a geometry problem. In the figure, line M is parallel to line N and line T intersects both lines. What is the value of X? Since these two lines are parallel, this is 33 degrees, and these two must add up to 180. So X plus 33 is 180. X is obviously going to be 147. So D is correct. Okay. Sean rents a tent at cost of $11 per day. So $11 per day plus a one-time insurance fee of $10. Which equation represents the total cost C in dollars to rent the tent with insurance for D days? So C is equal to, since it's 11 days per day, we need to multiply by D. And then we have a one-time insurance fee of $10. So it's 11D plus 10. So correct answer choice here is C. Question number 5. For the right triangle shown, A equals 4, B equals 5, which expression represents the value of C? Okay, Pythagoras theorem here. A squared plus B squared is C squared. So and C is equal to the square root of this. So D is the correct answer choice. The function g is defined by g of x is equal to 6x. What value of x is g of x is equal to 54? So 6x is equal to 54. X is equal to 9. So 9 is the correct answer. The function f is defined by f of x is equal to 8x cubed plus 4. What is the value of 2? So put the 2 inside the function. It becomes 8. So 7 become, so for question 7, the correct answer choice here is, the correct answer here is 68. Okay. The function f is defined by f of x equals 1 over 10x minus 2. What is the y-intercept of graph of y equals fx in the xy plane? Y-intercept means x equals 0. So A is automatically wrong. And if I put x here, so 0 minus 2. So it's going to be, oh, sorry, 0 minus 2. So B is the correct answer choice. Question 9. A producer is creating a video with a length of 70 minutes. The video will consist of segments that are 1 minute long and segments that are 3 minutes long. Which equation represents the situation where x represents the number of 1 minute segments and y represents the number of 3 minute segments? So we are going to need x 1 minute segments and y 3 minute segment videos. And all of this needs to equal to 70. So B is the correct answer choice. Question 10, the function f is defined by f of x is equal to 7x cubed in the xy plane. The graph of y equals g of x is a result of shifting the graph of y equals fx down 2 units. Which equation defines function g. So it should be 7x squared. And we're shifting this down by 2 units. So this should be our function for g. And D is the correct answer. 11. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What is the value of x? Since y is explicitly given as minus 3x, I'll plug it in. You'll get 4x minus 3x is equal to 15. So for 11, P is the correct answer. 12. In the right triangle shown, what is the value of sine A? Very easy. It's opposite over hypotenuse. So B is the correct answer. 13. What is the area in square centimeters of a rectangle with a length of 34 centimeters and a width of 29? This is also straightforward. 34 times 29 is equal to 986 square centimeters. Okay. If x of y is 4 and 24x over ny is 4, what is the value of n? I'm going to go ahead and separate this out here. So I'm going to bring my n to the right. And n is going to equal to, if I divide both sides by 4, it's going to get 6. And then put this over here, and you get 24. Because 6 times 4 is 24. Okay. 15. A bowl contains 20 ounces of water. When the bowl is uncovered, the amount of water in the bowl decreases by 1 ounce every 4 days. If 9 ounces of water remain in this bowl, for how many days has it been uncovered? Okay, since it decreases 1 ounce every 4 days, the 4 needs to be in the denominator. So if you encounter a question like, let's say every like 10 days, 15 days, or 20 days, you'll want to put the number of days in the denominator. Okay. Then I'll multiply by x here. So just keep in mind with this. And since we had 20 ounces initially, I can model my function like this. And if 9 ounces of water remain in this bowl, just set that equal to 9. X over 4 is equal to 11. So x is 44. So D as in David is the correct answer. Moving on to 16. If 9 parenthesis 4 minus 3x parenthesis close plus 2 is equal to 8 parenthesis open, 4 minus 3x parenthesis close plus 18, what is the value of 4 minus 3x? Okay, no need to do any complicated computation here. I'm going to move whatever this is to the left and whatever this is to the right. So it becomes 4 minus 3x is equal to 16. So D is the correct answer. Certain township consists of 5-hectare industrial park and a 24-hectare neighborhood. The total number of trees in the township is 4,529. The equation 5x plus 24 is 4,529 represents this situation. Which of the following is the best interpretation of x in this constant? So let's look at the units. So it's 5 hectare here, and we have an x here. And my output unit is number of trees. So if I have hectare, I need to multiply something here to get a unit of number of trees. So if I want to get an output from hect to number of trees, I need to multiply by number of trees per hect, right? So since we're dealing with X and there's a 5, it's indicative that we're looking for the industrial park, right? Since the unit is number of trees per hectare, we can tell that this is an average number, not total. So C and D are immediately eliminated. And since we're looking for the industrial, A is the correct answer. Okay. Question 18, which expression is equivalent to A to the power of 11 over 12? Um, I'm going to go ahead and multiply the 12 on the numerator and denominator, so it becomes like this. And this is A to the power of 132 over 144. Since this guy is in the denominator, uh, we need to put the 144 here. And since 132 is in the numerator, all I got to do is do this. Okay. For 18, B is the correct answer. Okay, moving on to question 19. The dot plots represent a distribution of values in data sets A and B. Which of the following statements must be true? The median of data set A is equal to the median of data set B. Well, if I look at the middle here and middle here, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, somewhere here. We can say that the median is like the same here. So the first statement is correct. The standard deviation of data set A is equal to the standard deviation. Standard deviation talks about how spread out the data is. For data set A, like I can see that it's kind of like, you know, kind of like spread out towards the center. But for data set B, it's like this. So clearly the way the data is spread out is different for B and A. So this statement cannot be true. So for question 19, A is only the correct answer. Okay, question 20. A circle has centers O and points R and S lie on the circle. In right triangle ORS, the measure of ROS is 88 degrees. What is the measure of RSO in degrees? Okay, since this is a geometry question, I always like to draw this out. Let me go ahead and draw here. So ROS is 88 degrees. And since these two are the radiuses, this has to be same. And we're looking for this guy over here, RSO, so this guy. But we also know that this angle has also equal to x, right? Because this is an isosceles triangle. So what we're going to do is, if we add up all the angles, it becomes 2x plus 88. This has to equal 180 degrees. And if I set this, if I set the 2x, so 2x is 92, x is 46 degrees. So 46 is the correct answer. Okay, question 21. The regular price of a shirt at a store is $11.7. The sale price of the shirt is 80% less than the regular price, and the sales price is 30% greater than the store's cost for the shirt. What was the store's cost in dollars for the shirt? Okay, so sales price Since it's 80% less, I'm going to subtract the 80 over 100 from 1, and becomes like this. So 0.2 reg, and sales is equal to, since it's 30% greater, you need to add 30 over 100 to 1. Oops, not reg. Should be cost. Stores cost. This is equal to 1.3 cost. And since we can set these two to equal to each other, so what we can do is we can say that 1.3 cost is equal to 0.2 reg, and cost is equal to 0.2 divided by 1.3 times reg. We know that the regular price of a shirt is 11.7. So if you do 0.2 divided by 1.3 times 11.70, you're gonna get 1.8 as your answer. Okay, question 22. A cube has an edge length of 68 inches, a solid sphere with a radius of 34 inches inside the cube, such that the sphere touches the center of each face of the cube. To the nearest cubic inch, what is the volume of the space in the cube not taken up by the sphere? Um, since this is a 3D shape, I'm gonna just draw it out anyways. Sorry for my bad drawing. And we pretend that we have some sort of like a sphere inside here. What we're looking for is the volume of space in the cube that's not taken by the sphere. So basically, the sphere is inside the cube. Sphere is inside the cube, okay? Don't be intimidated. All you gotta do is you get the volume of the cube. So the volume of the cube is 68 cube. The volume of, because volume of the cube is, I'll just write it down here. If this is A, and A, just simply do this. So that's how I got the 68 cube. And the volume of the sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cube, which is equal to 4 over 3 pi 34 cube. And all you gotta do is very simple and straightforward. Just subtract the volume of the sphere from the volume of the cube. Okay, it's very easy. And the correct answer is this. So answer choice A as an apple is correct. Okay, question number 23. One of the equations in a system of two linear equations is given. The system has no solution. Which of the equation could be the second equation to the system? So I'm going to just move this guy over here. So immediately C and D are wrong. So if I want the system to have no solutions, the left side of the expression is the same. However, this guy needs to be different. So in this empty box, we know that B is different. from 18. So 22 and 18 are not equal to each other. So I can put 22 here. And obviously, if I um, get rid of all of this, I get something like 0 is equal to -4, which does not make sense mathematically. So for 23, B as in boy is the correct answer. Okay. Um, 24, triangles PQR and LMN are graphed in the XY plane. Triangle PQR has vertices PQR at 4, 5, 4, 7, and 6, 5, respectively. The triangle LMN has vertices L, M, and N at 4, 5, 4, 7 plus K and 6 plus K, comma 5, respectively, where K is a positive constant. If the measure of the Q is T degrees, what is the measure of N? So I'll go ahead and kind of have to draw this out. So imagine we have X and Y here. Let's say this is P 4, 5. And this is R 6, 5. This is sorry, okay. I'll just put it like this. I'll say that this is P. This is R. And this is Q. And I'll write the coordinates for you. 4, 5, 4, 7, and 6, 5. Let's draw this out. And Q is T here. And if I notice here, um, the x coordinate is same for 4, 7 plus K. It's only the y coordinate that's different. I'm adding some K value here. So this is N, 4, 7 plus K. And I'm sorry, M here. There should be M here. And for N, I have the same y-axis, but y coordinates, but different x, right? So it's 6 plus K. And then I'm going to connect these two together, right? Notice that these two are like similar triangles. One is like this, and one is just like elongated upwards, like this. So in order for me to get this n here, we know that the angle for n is the same as the angle for r, right? And we know that q here is t, and this is a right angle here. So how do we determine n? Well, since all of these have to add up to 180, all we can do is do something like this. And then we can set the x equal to 90 minus t. Okay, so C as in cat is the correct answer choice here. Okay, question number 25. For each real number r, which of the following points lies on the graph of each equation in the xy plane for the given system? So since there are like infinite many solutions here, I'm going to just pick out this one over here. Since like if I multiply all of this by 5, it becomes 10x plus 15y, which is 35, and these two are the same, meaning that there are infinite number of solutions. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens if I assume x is equal to r. So if that's the case, I need to rearrange my stuff here for y. And y is r comma 7 over 3 minus 2 over 3r. That's correct, but since we don't have that in our answer choice here, so we can immediately eliminate C and D. And I'm going to, for now, then assume y is equal to r. And if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and say that 2x is equal to 7 minus 3y. X is equal to 7 over 2 minus 3 over 2r. And since we do have an answer choice option here, so I'll write the set down. So it is 3 over 2r plus 7 over 2, comma r. E is the correct answer choice here. Okay. All right. Um, Question 26. The given equation C is a positive constant. Which of the following is one of the solutions to the given equation? Well, I'm going to first move this over here. Becomes now I'm going to square this both sides, all of this. So it becomes x squared minus c squared squared. And since the squares cancel out, I can go ahead and write this here. Now notice that since we have the power of 1 here, remember what this is equal to. This is just simply this. You would want to subtract 2 minus 1, whatever is in the numerator here and whatever is here in the denominator becomes this, right? And our a, capital A, is x squared minus c squared. So I could use this rule here. Now all I'm looking for is what x is equal to. So x is equal to plus minus c squared is 39 squared. Since we're only looking for the minus solution here, D as in David is the correct answer for question 26. Final question. The quadratic function g models the depth in meters below the surface of the water of a seal. 10 minutes after the seal entered the water during a dive, the function estimates that the seal reached its maximum depth of 302.4 meters 6 minutes after it entered the water, and it reached the surface of the water 12 minutes after it entered the water. Based on the function, what was the estimated depth to the nearest meter of the seal 10 meters after it entered the water? So I'm going to go ahead and graph this function out. So you have like a depth of y, you have depth of t, right? Assume that 0, 0 is the surface. And it has reached a maximum depth at, so this is 6. This is 6. and this is 12, and this is 302.4 meters. And this is the origin here. All you gotta do is you have this canonical quadratic formula here. We're given three informations here, right? So we have 0, 0, 6 comma 302.4, and 12 comma 0, right? Um, so for 0, 0, we know that C is equal to 0 because y is a. This has to equal to 0, so all of these go out. So C is equal to 0. And I'm going to go ahead and solve for what these two are. So if I put y is equal to a times 12 squared b, this has to equal to 0. And we also have this guy here, a of 6 squared plus b times 6. This needs to equal to 302.4. Now I'm going to go ahead and write down the system of linear equations here. 6a plus 6b is equal to 302.4, and then 144a plus 12b is equal to 0. And go ahead and solve for a and b using the system of linear equations, and you'll get a is equal to minus 42 over 5, and b is equal to 504 over 5. And I could rewrite my quadratic formula here as y equals minus 42 over 5t squared plus 504 divided by 5 times t. And the question says, what was the estimated depth to the nearest meter of the seal 10 minutes after it entered the water? So instead of t, put 10. So y of 10. And if you punch this in your calculator, I'll go ahead and do that right now. You will get 168 meters and 168. This is the correct answer for question 27. I'll just write it here one more time. This is definitely a wordy question that combines quadratic function and system of equations. So please be aware of that. Thanks for watching and have a good day.